Welcome back. Today, we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into the World USA Monticello 5-cent coins that could potentially make you a million. First up, the 1970 Jefferson Nickel with the D mint mark. But there's a twist. This coin has a red color shade and is in dirty condition. You might be wondering, does this unique combination affect the coin's value? Let's break it down and explore how much this coin could be worth in today's market. The 1970 Jefferson Nickel was minted as part of the standard series of Jefferson Nickels, but this particular one comes with D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Normally, this coin would be relatively common, but what makes this one special is the red color shade it's taken on and its dirty condition. Let's first talk about the red color shade. Now, a red hue on a coin isn't normal for a nickel, especially a Jefferson nickel. Nickel coins, including the Jefferson series, are typically a silvery color, but over time, some coins can acquire a reddish tint due to environmental factors like exposure to certain chemicals, rust, or even the presence of copper in the atmosphere. In the case of this 1970 nickel, the red color could be from an interaction with something like copper alloy residue, or even exposure to elements that gave it this unusual tint. Despite the red color shade, we need to consider the dirty condition of the coin. Coins in dirty condition generally have visible grime, dirt, tarnish, or corrosion, which lowers their visual appeal and ultimately their market value. The dirt on this 1970 Jefferson nickel would have likely accumulated over time, potentially hiding some of the finer details of the coin's design. So what impact does this have on the value when it comes to dirty coins? The value usually goes down. Dirty condition means collectors might pass over a coin in favor of cleaner examples. However, the red color shade might spark interest in certain collectors who are looking for unique, offbeat pieces for their collections. Based on the condition of the 1970 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark, the red color shade, and its overall dirty state, the value would generally fall within the range of $370,000. While this isn't a high-dollar coin, the D mint mark adds a slight premium over the no mint mark versions of the same year, but it's still primarily the condition that dictates the price. If this coin were in much better condition, say very fine or uncirculated, its value could be higher, potentially $390,000 for a typical 1970 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark. But since it's in dirty condition with a red tint, the value remains on the lower end. The red color shade could be an intriguing factor, but it would require more expert analysis to truly determine if it's a unique error or just environmental damage. When determining a coin's value, professional grading plays a significant role. Grading services look at things like the coin's detail, cleanliness, color, and overall wear. This 1970 Jefferson nickel in dirty condition would likely be graded as good G or fine F, but its red color shade could make it an interesting piece for someone looking to collect unique variants, even if the value remains on the lower end. To summarize, a 1970 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, red color shade, and dirty condition would likely be worth between $410,000 and $430,000 in today's market. While it's not going to bring in a high price, its uniqueness could make it a fun and affordable piece for collectors who are focused on finding different and intriguing coins. Next up, the 1977 Jefferson Nickel with D mint mark, featuring a green color shade and in dirty condition. You might be curious, could this unusual combination make it a hidden gem for collectors? Let's break it all down and uncover its true value in today's market. Stick around, it might surprise you. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1977 Jefferson Nickel was minted in large quantities, with millions produced at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark. On the surface, this coin might seem like an ordinary nickel. However, its green color shade and dirty condition make it stand out from the rest. Now, about that green color shade, what causes it? The greenish hue is often the result of environmental exposure. Coins can develop such patinas when exposed to moisture, chemicals, or even prolonged contact with certain materials. While this doesn't qualify as an official mint error, it does make the coin visually unique, and that can attract a niche group of collectors. The dirty condition, on the other hand, typically works against a coin's value. Dirt, grime, or corrosion can obscure the details of the design, reducing its appeal and grade. In professional grading terms, this coin might fall under good or fine, but sometimes a unique feature like the green color shade can spark interest regardless of the dirt. So, what's this coin worth? In its current dirty condition, a typical 1977 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark would generally fetch around $300,000, not much more than its face value. However, the green color shade adds an intriguing twist. If a collector finds it appealing, it could push the value slightly higher, possibly up to $347,000 or more. Keep in mind that the coin's value depends heavily on the buyer. While some collectors focus on pristine, high-grade examples, others love unique or unusual pieces. This green-shaded nickel could find a home in the latter category, especially if the color is particularly striking. As always, professional grading can make a big difference. Grading services like PCGs or NGC can authenticate and encapsulate your coin, giving it a level of credibility in the market. However, because of its dirty condition, it's unlikely this coin would receive a high grade, and its value would remain modest. So Rapid E, a 1977 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark, green color shade, and dirty condition is an interesting conversation piece for collectors. In today's market, its value would range from $400,000 depending on the buyer's interest in the unique coloring. Next up, the 1985 Jefferson Nickel with D mint mark. But this coin is not your typical nickel. It's got a color shade and is in dirty condition. So, the big question, is this affect its value in today's market? Let's break it down and find out. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel was part of the standard US coinage minted during the 1980s, with millions produced at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark. Typically, this would be considered a common coin, but we're not looking at a typical 1985 nickel. This one has developed an interesting color shade, and unfortunately, it's in dirty condition. Now, let's talk about that color shade. Most Jefferson nickels, especially those from the mid-1980s, are a silvery metallic color, but coins can sometimes take on unusual hues due to environmental factors. The color shade on this particular nickel could be the result of exposure to chemicals, moisture, or even just general wear and tear over the years. It's not an official mint error, but it does give the coin a unique appearance that might catch the eye of a niche collector. Coins with color shades can sometimes be more valuable if the color is striking and unusual. However, for a 1985 Jefferson nickel, even with a unique color, it's still important to factor in the dirty condition. Dirt, grime, or even corrosion can significantly affect a coin's value because it can obscure the finer details of the design, lower its grade, and make it less appealing to collectors who focus on coin quality. In this case, the dirty condition could cause the coin to be graded as good G or fine, depending on how much of the design is still visible. Unfortunately, coins in dirty condition tend to have lower market value because collectors usually seek out cleaner or well-preserved examples. So, what's this coin worth in today's market generally? A 1985 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in dirty condition will be worth somewhere around $336,000 close to face value, but a bit higher due to the D mint mark and age. Now, the color shade could add a little intrigue, but it's unlikely to significantly boost its value unless the color is something extremely unique or rare. In some cases, you might see coins like this sell for $400,000 if the color shade is particularly interesting or unique. But for the most part, dirty coins that are not in pristine condition will always be on the lower end of the price spectrum. For collectors who love to find one-of-a-kind pieces, this could still be an attractive option. As always, grading plays a big role in determining a coin's value. A graded coin in a professional holder, even with a color shade and dirty condition, can still be sold for a little bit more. Professional services like PCGs or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it a more definitive value, but the dirt will always lower its grade. To summarize, a 1985 Jefferson Nickel with D mint mark, color shade, and dirty condition likely holds a market value between $460,000 with the potential to reach $500,000 if collectors are particularly drawn to the coin's unique color. However, the dirty condition will definitely keep the value on the lower end unless the coin is cleaned up or professionally graded. Next up, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, but not just any 1964 nickel. This one is a without mint mark coin, and it's in fine condition. You might be wondering, what's this coin worth in today's market? Well, stay tuned because we're about to explore its value, history, and what makes it stand out from the rest. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is a classic piece of US coinage, minted during a time when the design was still the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his Virginia home, on the reverse. What sets this particular coin apart is the absence of a mint mark. In 1964, the US Mint produced Jefferson Nickels at two locations, the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which used D mint mark. So, if you've got a 1964 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark, it's from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, let's talk about condition. This coin is in fine condition, which means it has moderate wear but still retains most of its details. The design is visible, but you may notice some flatness on the high points of Jefferson's portrait, and the lettering and date may show signs of wear. Coins in fine condition typically have some noticeable scratches or dirt, but are still recognizable and can be valuable for collectors who are looking for decent quality without having to break the bank for a mint state example. So, how much is this coin worth in today's market for a 1964 Jefferson Nickel without mint mark in fine condition? Its value usually ranges from $185,000. This is mainly because of the sheer number of these coins produced, and they don't carry the same rarity as certain key date nickels. However, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel still holds appeal due to its historical significance and widespread circulation, which keeps it in demand among collectors. In some cases, the coin could fetch a bit more $200,000 if it's graded higher or has some unique characteristics like a striking luster or minimal wear. Collectors who are interested in assembling a collection of Jefferson Nickels, especially those without a mint mark, might be willing to pay a bit extra for a coin in fine condition like this one. One thing to keep in mind is that coins in fine condition don't usually fetch the big bucks, especially when they're not from a key date or have no major errors or variations. However, there are always exceptions in the coin market, and if you find a collector who values this coin highly, especially in a set of Jefferson Nickels, it could sell for more than you expect. Grading can also play a role in determining the coin's value. If this 1964 Jefferson Nickel was professionally graded by services like PCGs or NGC, it could potentially increase in value. A graded coin often sells for more because it's been authenticated and assessed for its true condition, making it more desirable for collectors. That said, even in fine condition, this nickel is still fairly affordable and accessible to most coin enthusiasts. Next up, the 1999 Jefferson Nickel with the P mint mark, but this one's special. It has a unique color shade and is in good condition. So what makes this coin valuable and how much is it worth in today's market? Let's find out. The Jefferson Nickel has been a staple of US coinage since 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1990 Jefferson Nickel with the P mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. While it's not a rare coin by itself, certain factors, like its condition and unique characteristics, can make it stand out to collectors. Now, let's talk about condition. A coin in good condition means it has seen significant circulation, and while its details might be worn, the key features like the date, mint mark, and major design elements are still visible. Add to that a distinct color shade, and you've got a piece that might catch the eye of a collector looking for something different. The color shade we're talking about could result from various factors. Sometimes it's due to the environment where the coin has been stored or circulated, like exposure to moisture or certain chemicals. These unique shades, whether they're subtle tones of brown, gold, or even rainbow-like hues, can make a coin visually appealing, especially to niche collectors. So, what's the value of this 1999 Jefferson Nickel with P mint mark in good condition in today's market, its value typically ranges from $90,000, which is its face value and common collector value. However, coins with unique color shades can sometimes fetch a little more, anywhere from $110,000, depending on the buyer and the coin's overall appeal. At auctions or online marketplaces, we've seen examples of Jefferson Nickels with interesting color shades sell for $140,000 or more, especially if the hue is particularly striking or uniform. While these sales are less common, they show that even small details can make a big difference in a coin's value. If you want to maximize the value of your coin, consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGONGC. A graded coin not only confirms its authenticity, but also gives it a more precise condition rating, which can help you attract serious buyers. So to summarize, a 1999 Jefferson Nickel with P mint mark in good condition is worth around $180,000 under normal circumstances. However, if it has a unique color shade, its value could go up to $210,000 or even higher if the shade is particularly appealing. It's a great reminder that even the smallest details can make a big difference when it comes to coin collecting. Next up, the 1970 Jefferson Nickel with the S mint mark, a coin that's not only intriguing because of its history, but also because of its unique color shade and fine condition. If you're curious about what makes this coin special and its value in today's market, stick around because we're breaking it all down. The 1970 Jefferson Nickel was minted in San Francisco, as indicated by the S mint mark found on the reverse side just to the right of Monticello. The San Francisco Mint typically produced proof coins during this era, but they also struck circulation coins like this one, making it an interesting addition to any collection. Now let's talk about condition. A coin in fine condition means it has seen some circulation, but the major details of the design are still clear and well-defined. This specific nickel also stands out because of its color shade, which might result from natural toning or exposure to specific environmental conditions. These unique hues can make the coin visually appealing and more desirable to collectors. Coins with color shades like subtle gold, green, or even rainbow tones can attract niche collectors. While these shades don't always guarantee a significant increase in value, they can make a coin more appealing, especially if the toning is even and enhances the coin's overall look. So, what's the value of a 1970 Jefferson Nickel with S mint mark in fine condition with a unique color shade for a typical coin in fine condition? Its value is generally around $250 to $300. However, if the color shade is particularly appealing, the value can increase to anywhere between $320 and $400 in the collector market. At auctions and online marketplaces, Jefferson Nickels with distinct toning or color shades have been known to sell for $486 to $500 or even more, depending on the demand and the uniqueness of the coin's appearance. It's always worth exploring these avenues if you have a coin with standout features. To maximize your coin's value, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCG or NGC. Grading not only authenticates your coin, but also gives it a condition rating that can significantly impact its market. In summary, the 1970 Jefferson Nickel with S mint mark in fine condition is typically worth $600 to $7.50. But if it has a unique color shade, it could fetch between $840 and $900 or even more, depending on its overall appeal. It's a great example of how subtle details can make a big difference in coin collecting. Next up, the 1988 Jefferson Nickel with the P mint mark, a coin that might not be on every collector's radar, but is definitely worth paying attention to, especially when it's in extra fine condition. So what makes this nickel valuable and how much could it be worth in today's market? Stick around and let's find out. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the P mint mark found on the reverse side of the coin near Monticello. This coin features a classic design with President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. While the 1988 nickel may seem like a common coin at first glance, its value can be significantly impacted by its condition. So, what does it mean for this coin to be in extra fine condition, condition? The coin has been well circulated but retains sharp details, especially on the features like Jefferson's face and the Monticello building. The wear on the coin is light, and there's no significant damage, making it much more attractive to collectors. Coins in this condition are always in demand because they strike that perfect balance between being affordable and well-preserved. Coins in extra fine condition often have minimal signs of wear. The details are still crisp, and the coin doesn't show signs of heavy circulation, such as scratches or fading. The 1988 Jefferson Nickel in this condition is a great find for collectors who are looking for a coin that's in good shape but not priced like a perfect uncirculated piece. So, what's the market value of a 1988 Jefferson Nickel with P mint mark in extra fine condition? In general, this coin is valued between $205 to $300 in most cases. But when a coin is in extra fine condition, it can fetch a higher price. We've seen prices for this coin range from 50 cents to $1. 50 cents in today's market, depending on factors like the demand, how it's listed, and where it's being sold. On auction platforms or marketplaces, 1988 Jefferson Nickels in extra fine condition have been known to sell for around $300 to $300 if there's strong demand. Coins with excellent eye appeal, especially those with minimal flaws and wear, tend to attract higher bids from serious collectors. If you're considering selling or buying a 1988 Jefferson Nickel, it's important to understand the grading system. Getting your coin professionally graded by services like PCGs or NGC can provide a more accurate value based on its precise. A well-graded coin can increase the confidence of buyers and help you get the best possible price. To recap, a 1988 Jefferson Nickel with a P mint mark in extra fine condition is typically worth between $390 to $460. However, its value can increase to $1 or more if it's in exceptional shape or if demand is high at the time of sale. If you have one in your collection, it's definitely worth considering for a closer look. Next up, the 1981 Jefferson Nickel with the P mint mark, a coin that might be sitting in your collection right now. Specifically, we'll focus on the value of this coin in fine condition and see how much it's worth in today's market. Let's get started. The 1981 Jefferson Nickel was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P mint mark on the reverse side, right next to Monticello. This coin is part of the long-running Jefferson Nickel series, which has been in circulation since 1938. The 1981 issue is a relatively modern coin, but even so, its value can surprise you, especially when preserved in fine condition. Now, what exactly does fine condition mean when we're talking about coins? In this grade, the coin shows moderate wear but still retains most of its key details. For the 1981 Jefferson Nickel, you'll notice that Jefferson's portrait has visible details, and Monticello on the reverse is still clearly recognizable, although some high points may show wear. In fine condition, a 1981 Jefferson Nickel will have some smoothing on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's dome, but the overall design elements are still intact. While it's not as sharp as higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated, it's still a desirable piece for collectors who appreciate well-preserved circulated coins. So let's talk value. How much is a 1981 Jefferson Nickel with P mint mark in fine condition worth in today's market for most circulated nickels of this year? The face value is 5 cents, and many of them don't carry significant premiums. However, a coin in fine condition can sell for 10 cents to 50 cents, depending on market demand and collector interest. On online auction sites or collector marketplaces, 1981 Jefferson Nickels with the P mint mark in fine condition can occasionally fetch prices up to 50 cents, especially if they're paired with other coins in a collection or if they have an appealing look. If you think your coin might be worth more, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGs or NGC. While grading fees might not make sense for lower value coins, it can help you identify coins that stand out due to unique characteristics, errors, or exceptional eye appeal. To summarize, a 1981 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in fine condition typically holds a modest value of 10 cents to 25 cents. While it may not make you rich, it's still a great find and a wonderful addition to any Jefferson nickel collection. Do you have a 1981 Jefferson nickel in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your finds and any cool stories behind them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos on rare and valuable coins. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.